One of the most intriguing cases of weight loss we've ever encountered. In March of 2000, Nancy Malkin weighed more than 700 pounds, hadn't left her apartment for 12 years. Today, she weighs about 170. She lost more than 500 pounds without surgery. So how did she do it? Well, finding the things she cared about and accidentally finding some strangers who cared about her. Nancy Malkin at 700 pounds, locked, she says, in an unending cycle of food and shame, more food, more shame. Isolated because going out was exhausting and a terror.
It's so humiliating. You're a sideshow attraction. Why wouldn't you hide?
She says she sent her son for groceries. Only her family could see her. Then, after 12 years of weight gain, her sister gave her a computer. She'd always been a political junkie and went on one chat room, then another, only to find strangers responded to her thoughts, not her appearance. And today, 3 years and 530 pounds later, Nancy Malkin as she was, Nancy Malkin as she is. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome. Hello, and come in and sit down. What a story this is. This was the skirt you wore.
Yes.
Let me stand up.
It's a beauty.
And it fit.
Oh, yeah.
Are you going to keep this?
Oh, absolutely. At first I was going to make curtains out of it, and then I thought, no, I may have to bronze it now.
The skirt, a reminder of her prison.
When you weigh 700 pounds, you really don't think something's going to change or, gee, I think I'll buy a treadmill. You've given up hope. You've resigned yourself to what's come, what's going to come, death eventually. The beauty of it, Diane, was that the internet provided anonymity, and people who would have rejected me out of hand based on appearance got to see my insides.
She says the weight gain started 20 years ago. And what kind of eating patterns took hold?
I called it one cheeseburger at a time. Because, you know, it's so obvious you eat too much. My son would bring me 10 double cheeseburgers. So I'd eat 4, put the rest in the fridge, and then they'd call to me during the night or whatever, and you'd eat them cold. I could go in and overeat cold squash out of the fridge. It doesn't matter, you're stuffing your feelings. That's what people need to know. It's not just being a glutton. You're stuffing your feelings. You are substituting for something else you really need, which I think is value. I rediscovered my value.
Tell me about your son in the middle of this.
I was 9 years old when I started gaining weight. He's told me later that he really worried that he'd come and find me dead someday. And of course that was my greatest fear too, is that someday he would be the one to find me, and if I talk about it too much I'll cry, because that's about the only thing that I regret. I don't regret years lost. I've learned something. I have a rare perspective on life. I enjoy things more. I only regret that my son, that I hurt him, that I marred his childhood somehow, that it could have been more full.
With the help of those strangers, she says she didn't even notice she was losing weight.
I was so busy and so happy to get up every morning that I like to say I lost weight in my fingers first.
Then one day the cat jumped on her lap and she realized she had a lap. So if you could say one thing to anyone out there who is dreaming of some light going on, some door opening, some radical change.
Diane, I've heard so many times, I've said it myself, if I could only lose 40 or 50 pounds, I'd be so much happier. I found on this journey that the opposite is true. If you, oh Lord, people want to lose weight and they think that that's the key. The key is to find contentment and value in yourself by reaching out and doing something that's not for you, and the weight will come off as a side effect. It really will. It did for me. That's all I can say. In my case, that is exactly what happened, and I would say that's a pretty big example of what can happen.
In a letter, she wrote,
I was being loved and nurtured by faceless strangers. In a world where you are given levels of worth dependent on first impressions, these friends accepted who I was based on my mind and soul. The anonymity of the computer gave me access to a world that would have just as well have left me alone, alone to die, but I did not.